Sorry, Miss Jackson. I am for real. That kept on my mind ever since I heard the song. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize 1,000 times. Sorry, Miss Jackson. I am for real. I have no idea who that's for. Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? Hey family, potential family. Maybe get some insight, aha moment, or um, confirmation, just listening, whatever the deal may be, okay? Gonna look at another BTO. This new, I haven't seen it, so I don't know what's on it, okay? Let's see. Oh, I'm gonna have to bring this up. Okay.
Well, we live in a world where everything isn't what it seems. We've been learning the hard way growing up, believing in the things they taught us, the things that they're currently changing that they don't teach anymore. This is bizarre. But look, man, smash that like button, man, if you've been catching on to the things that's been going on in the world and sharing your opinions in the comments down below. Let's make sure we get this video to like 15,000 likes for the like-minded people out here. Share these videos with your friends and family, man. We lit over here. Positive vibes only. Look, I'm not trying to convince y'all of anything, but I'm just trying to get y'all to look at some stuff that's just weird. But look, man, let's get into this video. And just know if you're going through a tough time, we're going through this thing called life together. You're never in it by yourself.
You guys know that 1913 was the year we actually lost control of our country, right? Oh, and just for historical context, World War I started in 1914. I mean, look, I'm sure that was a coincidence, but let me just tell you all the things that were created in 1913. First, the Federal Reserve, which is neither federal nor has any reserves. It's basically a private bank that just controls all of our money.
Hey y'all, give me some likes when y'all come in. Hello, hello,
Was the
hello.
IRS, and I'm sure it's just a coincidence that it was created the
Hey,
exact same year the
LVXD.
private bank took over all
How
of
you
our
doing?
money. Yeah, I'm sure it's a coincidence that that was the year they started taxing you. Like, you work, they print, and then you pay them back with interest. Yeah, that makes sense. The next thing created was the Rockefeller Foundation. Yeah, and let's be real, that was all about philanthropy. It's not like they took control of medicine, education, science, and basically the health of the world. I mean, let's be real, all they were doing was donating money. Yeah, it's not like they were buying control of everything. Oh, and that worked out
Hey,
so
Mark.
well, right?
Mark.
Because people are healthier and
How you doing?
more self-sufficient than ever, right? Oh yeah, also in 1913 was the American Cancer Society. I mean, that sounds like a good thing, right? That can't possibly be bad. Except it was completely funded by extremely wealthy people. But even though it was a charity, they never really gave to anyone. No, they just took their money and invested in pharmaceutical drugs. Oh, and chemo. Yeah, instead of taking that money and investing in companies that are trying to find a cure, no, we'll just invest in companies that use chemicals from the military that were later banned. Yeah, that's a good thing to keep fucking putting into people. Then also created in 1913, the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League. Which, sure, yeah, it's about civil rights. Yeah, totally, it's not about censoring people or, silencing critics. And then in 1914, we had World War I. And that became the first war ever that private industry profited from war. The private industry that's owned by the same families that created the Fed, the IRS, the Rockefeller Foundation, the American Cancer Society, the ADL. Again,
yeah, I'm American.
A coincidence.
But it's still good information.
A year prior to 1913,
I don't, stuff happening all over the world. Cool.
And it's funny how three of the wealthiest individuals on that ship
We still all kin.
voices opposed to central banking. Oh, and there's also the little tidbit that JP Morgan was supposed to be on that boat, but he canceled at the last second. But yeah, that's conspiracy. That's tinfoil hat talk. So what's happened since 1913? Well, the dollar has lost 99% of its value. Our debt has just become like a number that we ignore. Middle class getting fucked daily. War is now an industry instead of a conflict. Oh yeah, and your money isn't real anymore. Like, it's not real. It's not backed by anything. It's just numbers on a paper that private bank prints. So guys, look, if you're worried about America being conquered or, a rebellion or it being taken over, I just want you to recognize that you're more than 100 years too late. That shit already happened in 1913.
Hey, boy, you ate on that one, man. Smash that like button. Let's get into it.
Listen, do you ever wish that you were smarter? That you were intelligent?
No, I wish I was dumber.
Really?
Yeah. The problem with being smart is you see the world in a different way.
Hey, Rotten Milk.
You see reality, and it's depressing.
Wake the fuck up.
Pay attention, bro. Rule red. Hurry up.
At the last second. But yeah, that's conspiracy.
Oh,
That's
shit.
tinfoil
Sorry
hat
about
talk.
that.
So what's happened since 1913? Well, the dollar has lost 99% of its value. Our debt has just become like a...
Our world has changed. What does this mean, bro? What does it mean?
Rotten Milk.
That's cat. Bro, what does this mean, bro? What does it mean?
That mean that you spelled that shit wrong. You spelled the shit out there wrong. He posted it. And that done happened to me a few times too. But I just had to point it out. I'm sorry, y'all.
Hey, Dre Sky. Brewer.
Africa just hit a switcheroo on America. Went completely offline
Swallow.
from Google Internet and
You need to
created
stop.
their own You hear me? Pull the switcheroo and now have their own internet that the U.S. government does not have access to, cannot monitor, cannot track, but still has access to do all the same things that we have access to do. Google is big. The U.S. is going crazy.
Remember college? Well, now college is over. And here comes...
And let's not forget to mention, America is like falling economically. And Africa has their own dollar now backed by their gold, no longer subscribing to the U.S. dollar.
Got time.
It's time.
House Oversight Committee got Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday book, and there's a lot more in it than Trump's birthday card, like this picture of what appears to be George W. Bush with his face blurred out. This creepy cartoon of Epstein giving balloons and lollipops to little girls in 1983, and then 20 years later, those little girls giving him massages titled, "What a Great Country," with a private jet in the background with the numbers 908JE. Letter from someone named Michael that talks about stories about chronic UTIs, prostate massages,
Give
and
me some likes when y'all come in. I
Letters
appreciate it.
from girls that he worked with. She mentions all of the amazing places that she's traveled: London, Paris, Milan, Copenhagen, Tokyo, and on, and that she's met Prince Andrew, President Clinton, the Sultan of Brunei, Donald Trump, Chris Tucker, Diana Ross, Michael Jackson, brilliant scientists, lawyers, and businessmen. Clinton wrote a letter with all of their wonderful memories and adventures. And Elliot Woke wrote that he remembers when Jeffrey discovered Ghislaine as a teenaged girl. Someone named Nick wrote a letter about Royal Schoolgirls dorms, Mandarin drivers to find us some girls, massage classes at Raxel. Notes that Epstein is revealed as an alien in disguise. This picture, quote, "He is the boyfriend of redacted," quote, "We think he works for the CIA." So now you have to ask yourself, what in this book is real, and what, if anything, in this book is fake? As always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
Hi, JS.
Boy, what's this? Boy, this birthday card nasty.
say they done found the infamous birthday card, boy. Little Trump piss. Y'all think he do the titties and shit on there? This is crazy. Even Trump's name look like a pussy hair. Trump and Epstein were friends, wasn't they? I don't know. This letter creepy.
Right.
If your homeboy wrote you a letter like this, he wouldn't be your homeboy.
Oh, thank you, Jazz.
He might be your lover. Look at this letter, y'all. Y'all know Trump knew that man was nasty. And he was nasty too. For Epstein. That motherfucker say, we got something in common, Jeffrey. Enigmas never age. Shit. Epstein gone. But Trump, if you an enigma, you age like a motherfucker. He told that motherfucker he hoped every day is another wonderful secret. What the fuck is a wonderful secret, dog?
Right.
But stuff. We all can admit Donald Trump weird and nasty. Before all his presidency and everything, that man did everything under the sunshine. And from this letter, you look like he did it where the sun don't shine.
And then they talk about the distraction, right? And I don't know if this stuff is true or not, but it's crazy, right? But let me know if how y'all feel about it in the comments down below. But then all of a sudden, this stuff started to hit the internet, and then they have a press conference showing this. Let's roll it.
We are hearing from whistleblowers also on Capitol Hill who allege the government is holding back crucial information about UAPs, unexplained aerial phenomena, what many of us still call UFOs. Senior congressional correspondent Chad Pergram shows us that tonight.
Shocking witness testimony.
It stopped about 100 feet in front of me and approximately 100 feet above me. My telephone got extremely hot, completely froze.
From whistleblowers who served in the military.
Chaos ensued over the radio as the object approached rapidly. I heard my friend screaming, "It's coming right at us, it's coming right for us."
People demand answers.
There is something out there, and we should know as the people what it is.
The hearing was enough to convince some lawmakers who were once skeptics.
Growing up, I really never believed in UFOs or any of this stuff. I admit, I've become a believer.
GOP Missouri Congressman Eric Burleson showed an alarming video leaked to him anonymously. Burleson contends it shows a U.S. drone firing a Hellfire missile at a UAP off the coast of Yemen last fall.
It pivots in
Thank
some
y'all for the
way,
likes. I
and
appreciate
then
it.
there's what appears to be debris from the missile. The missile is deflected, and then some pieces of debris appear to be traveling alongside and with this object for an extended period of time.
One witness says the federal agency tasked with investigating UAPs rules out encounters with extraterrestrials on a technicality.
The only way to scientifically prove extraterrestrial is we have to go to that planet, acquire technology, bring it back, and compare it to what we have here.
Lawmakers believe the whistleblowers are credible because of their positions.
It's politically convenient for the government if you all weren't military folks in suits. It would be much better if you pulled up in Winnebagos and were wearing hats.
One congresswoman wants special protections for UAP whistleblowers.
Most of our whistleblowers that come forward, the first thing that goes is their security clearance. Security clearance is their livelihood.
Lawmakers say the U.S. is now in a space race. It's competing against China and Russia to figure out UAPs first. Right?
Never sue the other driver after a car accident. There's a better way to get paid a way bigger check without having to go to court.
P's first. Right?
Think it's a distraction.
I want to queue up a video that I've been given. And as before it starts, I'm going to describe. This was taken October 30th of 2024. This video is of an MQ-9 drone tracking an orb, or this object, off the coast of Yemen. You'll see that another MQ-9 launched a Hellfire missile. That you cannot see that drone, and so you'll.
You too,
I'm not going to
JS.
explain it
Appreciate
to you.
you.
You'll see
Good night.
exactly what it does.
A lot bigger for us to see.
Somebody knocked that out.
Boom. Right in half. Why y'all think they're showing us this all of a sudden?
This is when it zoomed out. So you can can still see it traveling. So, Mr. Knapp, do you have you heard about, events like this occurring? And what information might you have?
I have heard about events like this. I have heard about this event. Jeremy Corbell and I talked about it in one of our episodes a while back. We did not have the video, though. There are servers where there's a whole bank of these kind of videos that Congress has not been allowed to see, that the public hasn't been allowed to see. Occasionally some of that stuff gets out in the wild and it comes our way. It should be going to you. The public should be seeing this stuff. And why you're not allowed to, I don't know. But that's a Hellfire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off. And it kept going.
It kept going, and it looks like the debris was taken with it.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
To read you, it's going to be $45. Fidel, how you doing? Hey, Vexlo. Oh, I never heard of that. Charlie Kirk. Really? I'm going to have to look that up. You can ask a question for $5.
Someone capture this video of Paul Walker in between this supposed deadly car crash and going into hiding.
Well, it wasn't even me. It was some other dude. They thought it was me. No, this is now you're playing with me. I swear to God. You swear? Okay. They thought it was me, and it wasn't even me.
What's interesting to me is not too long after that car crash, a certain person came onto the scene and all of a sudden started directing movies. A certain person by the name of Tim Ballard. Maybe you've heard of him. He directed The Sound of Freedom. He resembles someone.
Yeah, I like when y'all come in, okay?
So much so that you barely realize there are two different faces there. And while you can change some things easily, like a beard and even the color of the eyes, and even haircuts and nose and ear size can be manipulated, sometimes there's just too many things to catch them all. Especially those pesky little birthmarks to there, and to there, and to there.
Oh, no, yeah.
Oh, you son of a bitch. What have you done? Now, people, any information I have, I share with you, and I hope you do the same with me. And with that being said, can somebody tell me who the hell these people are? Who is this
September 13th, stream the historic concert celebration live from Vatican City with Pharrell Williams and Voices of Fire, Andrea Bocelli, Karol G, and John Legend.
Ain't no damn way.
At the peak of the Cold War, the CIA uncovered a source who claimed to have found an ancient Babylonian artifact capable of generating temporal portals with the ability to see through time. After recovering the crystalline artifact from the Baghdad Museum raid, Project Looking Glass shifted to Phase 2, construction of a temporal aperture device. The Nevada desert was chosen as the home for the device. Under the guise of nuclear weapons testing, we were able to construct the aperture in complete secrecy. 200,000 tons of structural steel were used, along with 212,000 cubic yards of concrete. The crystalline artifact was stabilized with argon gas. Operators were specially trained psych operatives who were given a combination of psychedelic and emotion-suppressive drugs. This was a necessary component in order to activate and operate the device and focus on specific time periods, past or future. December 12, 1979, first test activation. 3 operators exposed to unfiltered timeline data disappeared upon activation. All clinical staff experienced temporal displacement, with some reporting crossing their own timelines. The project was immediately suspended. The device showed us things, probabilities, warnings. In 2012, it revealed something that forced total shutdown. This footage is all that remains.
Happened was people, very smart people, began to figure out that something big was coming up. Something that made it so all the possibilities of all the future scenarios, any choice, any possibility that was fed in and observed through the looking glass inherently ended up.
Oh, that guy. Hey, Lloyd, how you doing? Oh, yeah,
So
I
y'all hear
seen
the story
that.
about the woman that went to sleep for 12 hours and lived a whole nother life for 7 years and then started coming to one
I
day
seen that.
after many glitches started happening in her new life and came to a door where she heard her old voice, started remembering her old kids, everything, opened the door, and now she's back in her life. She's only been missing for 12 hours.
Mm-hmm. I seen that.
But she has lived a 7-year life that she can remember. If y'all have not heard that story, go look at her story. Because I couldn't explain it to you all without sounding crazy. But that is exactly why I made that video telling y'all there's nothing here.
Yeah,
I couldn't
right,
explain
Lord.
to y'all what exactly I was going through, but I was telling y'all there's nothing
I know nothing
here.
about him, really.
Mind you, a year or two before that, I made a video telling y'all, guys, I went somewhere and it's amazing. I think I went to heaven. I was telling y'all that. And then after I got off of that high horse of where I had been, y'all will remember me making videos like, nothing matters anymore. Nothing here makes sense. Value is
Me
not
too.
the
I just seen the
same.
video.
Like things like that. I'm telling y'all. And I commented on the video when she was making the story, and I was like, why
I
doesn't
don't
this
know if he
ever
did
happen to me?
something. Did he deserve it or
And
not?
God
Was
told me
it
right there,
karma?
because look what you
Don't
do
know.
when I take you somewhere. Y'all, it's really hard once you understand that you can exist in more than one place. I'll just say that. Once you have cleared the knowledge that you actually exist in more than one place, and you can't explain how you've even made it to that level of understanding, this life is hard after that. Like, this life is hard after that.
Why do we all just laugh off the Mandela effect? That is not funny. That is scary. Because what you mean, a bunch of us in different parts of the world who have no connection to each other, no relationship with each other, we all have very specific memories of certain things happening a certain way, and they just say, no, it didn't. I ain't ever in my life mistaken Shaquille O'Neal for Sinbad. I know what movie I saw. The Fruit of the Loom logo had a cornucopia in it. Them fruit was not just hanging on that logo loose like that. They was not just laying out loose. I was always at the top of the accelerated reader list in elementary school. I know them bears
Ruggins 62 stop.
Y'all, I'm not about to play with y'all. The Monopoly man had a monocle. Because that's the first time I ever saw a monocle. And then Darth Vader never said, Luke, I am your father. And then Snow White never said, mirror, mirror on the wall. Y'all are lying. Why are y'all lying?
Yo, what's a Mandela effect that y'all can recall? It's so many of them, man, and they can be proven that like certain things were certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me know how y'all feel about it in the comments down below.
Happy birthday,
Our
Virgos.
fabric of our imagination, or
My
are we
brother
on
birthday today.
different
Happy
pages
birthday,
where
my
we're
brother James.
projecting?
On the
Because they
other
say together we're
side.
connected, right? So our intentions, are we changing things ourselves, or is it the matrix being manipulated by somebody or something that's not supposed to be here, that they let through a fucking portal or something like that? Let's get back to it though.
Y'all, this is not a joke. I died on Tuesday. I'm 38 years old and I had a stroke. I don't do drugs, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do nothing. I woke up Tuesday outside of my body, watching me, like standing over myself, like, oh, we not in there. I ain't gonna hold you, like,
It happened to me
didn't want to
before.
step back in. I didn't want to go back in. I'm gonna tell this full story later.
Hey, Carlos.
I need to get to the gist of something real quick. This week that just passed is so monumental. You don't understand. So monumental. I ain't really had no fear. You know what I'm saying? Like, being dead was cool to me. You know, I knew I was on my way to the next land. You know what I'm saying? Long story short, I decided to step back into my body because, yeah, like I said, I got a younger sibling. I got 2 younger siblings. But I'm pleased with my life. I could have left. You feel me? Anyway, it took me 3 hours to go 2 feet after I got back into my body because it felt like a ton of bricks hit me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't hold my head up. I couldn't move my legs. You know what I'm saying? I was doing the Kill Bill thing. Wiggle your big toe. Like, I was really out of it. You feel me? I made it to my phone, and I was able to call my elder siblings. You know, the older set of siblings. You know what I'm saying? My brother was like, hell no, we calling 911 right fucking now. Like, what the fuck, G? Like, you going? They know I don't play with the government. You know what I'm saying? I make it to the hospital, you know, and all the people just looking at me like I'm crazy, right? And I'm trying to figure what's going on. Come to find out, ain't no blood in my body. No. None. All the nurses come shaking at me like, yo, your hemoglobin is a 2. We ain't never seen no shit like this. What kind of shit is this? How you here? I'm looking at them like, I'm holistic. Anyway, so I'm playing like I ain't got no, I mean, I'm weak, but I'm playing in that because it's like, you know, I'm trying to show you that I'm a spiritual being, baby. Like, yeah, millions would have died off this, but whatever. I also started thinking in that, like, who the fuck drained my blood over there? You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck my blood go? Y'all, all the lights tried to come get me. And I've been talking about the lights. I kept saying, is it my fucking funeral? They were trying to tell me, and this all correlates with what happened in May. There was a May transformation, and I had a full vision. You can go to my page, you know, about it's May 29th. I was talking about it. Anyway, I'm gonna give a long speech about this later, but I needed y'all to know, y'all. Hey, I was dead. I was dead on Tuesday, and I rose on Friday, and I had doctors studying me, like people that weren't even assigned to me. Everybody kept coming to visit me like I was Jesus, baby Jesus. Once again, this ain't my people, because I didn't tell my people nothing. No. Only people knew was my parents and my siblings. Doctors were coming to visit me that wasn't assigned to me from different, I mean, it was a toe doctor that came to see me because they couldn't believe what the fuck was going on. Nurses from every angle came to come visit me and give me gifts. When I tell you every other 20 to 30 minutes somebody was knocking on my door saying, are you the 2 girl? Like, is that my name? Some people's calling me the stroke girl too, you know, but it's like, and they looking at me like, how you look like this? Only one time did I bust out, I am a living testimony. I should have been dead and gone. But anyway, I played so much up and down, y'all. I'm spoiled. My people really didn't have to come. I told them, take y'all ass to work. I'm fine. You know, I was there to be an example, a living example. And this is what occurs when you know who you are. And you know who you are in the spiritual realm. You know who you are in this physical realm. You couldn't tell me I was going to be that kind of testimony, that kind of example. But when I tell you doctors scratch their heads over and over again over Deborah for the last 3 days, it's only Sunday. It's only Sunday. I got video to prove it. I got pictures to prove it. Baby, Deborah was gone. She died at home and then decided to step into her body. And then when she got in her body, I looked at life and said, yeah, I'll take the hit. I'll go again. So this is an extended stay. And I'm going to talk to y'all more about it. Namaste. Just be prepared to know that you can't tell me shit. You hear me? Oh, and I met y'all gods. Gods, your spiritual angels, and your spiritual gods, all of them, they came to see me too. They was asking me, are you sure? Are you sure? Do you feel like it? I'm like, yeah, we'll play. Like I was playing Family Feud. We'll play. Yeah, let me back in this, because I already know. But now I'm about to show. It's a different thing when you know, now you can show. Whew. I'm ready for it. I'm going to do what I got to do. Ain't no fear. It wasn't no sickness. It wasn't no... I just went to the hospital to prove the doctors wrong about what they think about the body. That's... Who does that? And then lives to tell the story. Who does that? Nothing induced, completely sober. They just looking like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm like, Deborah is going on. What the fuck?
Trump works for DARPA. Peter Thiel works for DARPA. J.D. Vance is DARPA, okay? That's who's running this game. And Russians try to warn us. The Russians took a pulse microwave device and pointed it at the U.S. Embassy in Moscow from 1967 all the way to 1973. In that time frame, they had more diagnosis of tinnitus, Meniere syndrome, voices, mental illness, but here's the big one. We had 3 straight ambassadors develop blood cancers, okay? Turns out in 1973, Henry Kissinger, Secretary of State, has to give hazard pay to anybody who was in the embassy at that time. Do you know how they solved the problem? You want to know where the idea of tinfoil hats came from, my friend? They put tinfoil all up in the U.S. Embassy when they found out what the Russians were doing, and what did the Russians tell them? We're trying to warn you that what you're about to do is going to be a big problem. They're not coming after us with guns because they know we'd shoot them. They're coming after us with needles to kill us. And they're using electromagnetic radiation to do this silently so that we have no earthly idea what's really going on. They can use light frequencies to destroy the leptin melanocortin pathways in the brain to control people. They are using an angle of attack that none of you are prepared for. Not one of you. In fact, most of you are walking right into their hands because all of you are addicted to what the technocrats are selling you.
Okay.
Here on the 50-yard line, it's always in the same places, guys. Places people gather, places they cheer, places they feel the most. And right above them, always watching, always pulsing. This isn't just a signal tower. These setups are designed for maximum emotional taking. We'll say that. When the energy is high, so is the broadcast. Notice the cluster? That's not basic communications tech. Those are layered bands, cellular, frequency scanners, emergency channel reroutes, and likely beam-focused nodes. They say it's for coverage, but ask yourself, who needs that much coverage right over the heart of a crowd, guys? You can feel it. Don't ignore it. Stay awake. Stay aware. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Alright guys, we're at one of the hidden resonance gates in Phoenix. Looks like, just like public art, right? But if you count the stones, there are 12. Each one links to a zodiac sign, forming a full energetic wheel. The metal prongs, they're like tuning forks, drawing signals from each sign and broadcasting them along the rail line. When you stand in the ring, your body aligns with specific frequency streams. Some people feel it in their ears, others feel it in their bones. But once you're inside, you're part of the circuit.
You know what I think that he's missing too with this? Those things that are on the ground going through the portal might represent our telomere caps and what they did to shorten our lifespans. If you look up telomeres, you know,
Telomeres.
it's just like that.
This isn't just art.
That's because when they pull energy from us, well, guess what? It shortens what? Lifespan? Telomere caps? I don't know. Am I heating up? Crazy.
It's a decoder, guys. Listen closely.
Interesting.
You might feel one of the 12 calling you.
Whether you believe these are real or faked actually does not matter at all. There is a much bigger problem with crop circles. Whoever is designing these has a geometric knowledge that is so deep it requires a multidisciplinary analysis from multiple fields of science to decode these things. Magnetic field, for example. They can also take the top view, rotate it on its side, and then give you that side view. They can show you what a bar magnet's magnetic field looks like, but you gotta know that this is a 4-poled bar magnet to actually decode this. They've shown magnetic components like this motor and stator. They've taken very complex 3D geometry and flattened it down into a 2D representation of it. Some of them are even ancient spiritual concepts like the geometry of space-time, the geometry of consciousness, or the flower of life. At Stonehenge, they were able to execute a perfect Julia-set fractal. Some show detailed celestial events like the lunar calendar and an 18-year lunar eclipse cycle. Molecular geometry of vitamin A. Easy work. Correct perspective and ternary code for CERN. Easy work. This one's a quantum particle mapped from 8 dimensions down to 2 dimensions. Now, these guys really got me into this. Now, these may look deceptively simple, but you don't just draw this shape. They're describing physics concepts from something called sympathetic vibratory physics. It is very specialized knowledge you really have to dig for. Think like Tesla tech. Back in the alchemy days, they hid this in symbolic art, in cathedrals, in books, and it's even hidden in your head. That goes back to ancient Egypt. Now, there are absolutely fake ones, but I don't think anyone here is dumb enough to compare this to something like that. And there remains no adequate explanation for how the stalks get bent and exploded in the way that they do in the real crop circles. So if you can't even execute this on paper, you don't get to say that they're fake or not. It's very hard to deceive somebody with a lot of perspectives, and I'm here to give you all of them, because I love you the most. Say it back.
So what is it about images like this and African style or Egyptian style artifacts that were found in the Grand Canyon that have to be covered up? What is it about these kind of images that they can't accept? What does it tell us about true human history? And listen, stick around, because I've got a drone video of this site. When I shared this picture, many people commented. Many people said that this can't be real, that this has to be photoshopped, that he had to use artificial intelligence. People suggested, I see right over here where they blended it. But this image is of a real site on the east coast of the United States of America. Please stick around, because for those people who said it wasn't real, you remember that we are the receipts. That we taught you the giants are real. We're teaching you about the Smithsonian. And stick around for this video, because we're going to fly over with a drone this area right here. We want you to see that it's real.
How you doing?
We want you to see how important it is. So here we go. Let's switch.
Yeah, it's just
sad. You are flying over the area that you just saw in that picture. What is it about images like this? What do they point to in history?
This week, we're hosting a free trading and investing workshop right here in Houston. Inside this workshop, you'll learn you don't need to be...
Is it about images like this? What do they point to in history that they cannot let you into the Grand Canyon? They will not accept that images like this exist. It was obviously outside of their imagination, because they did everything to say that that could not be a real picture. Well, now guess what? Please like this video right now. Please share this video, because now you are sharing the evidence of this picture that's been around for over 5 years. That you are now debunking anything they had to say, because you are flying over it in a drone video that demonstrates it to you that it's real. And listen, what's important about this is that these images, it's just not about being Egyptian, because Sumeria predates Egypt. Here, these images are Sumerian, and we're going to demonstrate to you how the site that you're flying over right now, that they were worshiping Enki. Yes, they were worshiping the serpent god from Sumeria. You wanted to know why they would cover it up? Well, let's dig deeper and deeper into why. Enki was the Lord of Eden. Enki was the god of fresh water. And here we find him right at the bottom
did a lot of
the oldest
experiments.
freshwater system on Earth, the Susquehanna River. Here is a site that they worship the serpent. We have thousands of ceremonial fetishes that represent serpents of different types from this site. This is a site where they're worshiping Sumerian gods. In other words, this predates Egypt. This predates Mesopotamia. And that's why they have to cover it up, because another civilization that lived right here, and we're going to show you how this continues into the water, that yes, the civilizations that you're looking for, like Atlantia or Atlantis, depending on the belief system that you follow, well, we're going to teach you how these people are relative to that, because as we're teaching you in this video and in these pictures, we want you to see, we're going to show you some pictures of mounds here. We want you to see that these are irrigation lines, just like in Mesopotamia, like you see here. This picture is from archaeologists from Mesopotamia that demonstrate, based on archaeological record, what life was like in Mesopotamia.
Really?
And here you see it right here in America, people. This predates. We have soil data here. We have soil samples. that are from 20,000 BCE to 8,000 BCE that prove that that's why they don't want you to know, and that's why they're afraid of these images. That's why they will not let you in the Grand Canyon. So listen, please like this video right now. I need your help. You're not making me famous. What you're doing is speaking for the voice of this ancient civilization site that you flew over. Now you say you want to visit ancient civilization sites. You say you want to fly over these places. You want to visit these places. Well, in this video, it's demonstrated to you that they're real. We're heading up to Delaware in October. You're welcome to come visit this site with us. Please share. This is Human Origins Revealed. Remember who shared it to you first. We're going to come out with another video that demonstrates that this site has a large, expansive, that you saw in this video, this entire site was fed by a freshwater irrigation system that proves that civilization lived here in North America long before it lived in Mesopotamia.
Cars there. I don't know much about him. Is he a good person? I don't know nothing about him.
All these other things that we're teaching you about.
Thank y'all for the likes. Y'all come and give me some likes. I really appreciate it.
Please remember to like them. Please share them and help enhance and grow the voice of this ancient civilization. Their voice has not been lost. It was just forgotten and covered up.
Hey, N2, what's up?
I look forward to seeing the future.
Long time.
See, that's when I'd be telling y'all, look, man, be wary of the people that are from here that claim to be like archaeologists, scientists, and they want the best for everybody. They're trying to give you the best information. That'll lead the people that live here on this landmass to other countries just to look at their pyramids and mounds and ancient artifacts when we have everything here. It's a reason why they want to show you that. They've been compromised. And if you look at a lot of them, they're very wealthy people. And if you see where they got their wealth from, it all leads to particular people, right? That's why this video loops in to different, it's all together. It's all together if you look at it. Stand back and look at the bigger picture of what's going on and why certain people are presented to you. The same reason why I say, man, the reason I do these videos is just to open your eyes, ring that bell. But it's other people that want to do these videos because they seen when they were popping, they went viral, and people were really taken to the information. Now, all of a sudden, you got a bunch of mugs that have thumbnails just like mine, and they gonna ashe you and shalom your ass to death. It's a difference between somebody wanting just to see this, to open up people's eyes and show them a different perspective, than people are just trying to milk this to get the money. Call those agents, y'all. But let's keep going, though.
Y'all, you love juice and corn on the cob? This is how you make it.
A message from our ancestors' mind. Join the fight. New Truth shirts on our TikTok shop.
Yo, check this out, family. So while the skies were completely covered here in Florida and I could not see the blood moon, something wild was happening across the waters up in the skies of England. Now, before the blood moon even hit, people noticed that there was this fiery orange color in the sky that consumed a greater part of England. And then what followed later was flocks and flocks of seagulls. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. I've never in my life have ever seen seagulls come together as a unit unless it's for some food at the beach. It's like they're all gathering for some kind of ritual, like they know something cosmic or interstellar is about to take place.
Oh Lord, hope that Resident Evil where the birds gonna be eating people.
Messengers, y'all. They knew when the birds start acting funny or weird that there was something great coming.
Because a lot of them, you know, they done programmed them robots or whatever, fed them human flesh.
Thousands of birds seen flying around, y'all.
Dang.
What is going on here?
Resident Evil, y'all. Damn, they fighting all kind of ways. They ain't going out without a fight.
Y'all see that, right?
They is not going out without a fight.
What the heck just happened? Y'all see that? It glitched. And then finally, this is what the moon was doing in England. Why is it? Y'all see that? What's happening here? The camera's not moving.
It's not a real moon.
So were the birds responding to something? What y'all see that? Could the birds be responding to something cosmic happening? And what is this? What is this star over here? What is that?
Right, time for Aquarius age. That's all. They fighting. Pisces, Capricorn age don't want to leave. Shit.
That is the blood moon.
They gonna fight their ass off.
That's people through the window. This is in England. It's in England. This is crazy, y'all. I've been saying that I truly believe that this new moon that people have been seeing is actually a second sun. And you can clearly see there is something going on here, a glitch, to show y'all that is like some
beings
type of
that came
sun,
here and did that.
Let me know what you guys think about this video.
They have been lying to us, y'all. What if I told you this whole 3-eye atlas and everything that they've been feeding us about it is all a lie? What if I also told you that 3-eye atlas may very well have something to do with third eye activation? I started to dig a little deeper, and this is what I found out. Listen up. So let's connect the dots a little bit more. So the name 3-eye atlas in itself kind of lets you know it's something to it, right? They talk in codes. 3-eye atlas, that also happens to be the third interstellar object to ever be discovered in space. The third, right? Third object, third eye. It gets even deeper. Let's talk about it. So I was very curious to what the word atlas was about. What does it mean? What's the meaning behind it, right? So when I looked it up, I was really surprised to see that it was the C1 vertebrae, a ring-shaped bone vertebrae that actually supports the skull. So it actually sits in a place where it supports the skull. In esoteric traditions, the C1 vertebrae is thought to have been the gateway between body and spirit. So now we know that that C1 vertebrae, which is called the atlas vertebrae, it is a round-shaped, vertebrae that supports the skull. That keeps the skull in place, right? Also digging deeper in esoteric traditions, I mentioned that they looked at the vertebrae, that atlas, as being a gateway. And what is a gateway? A gateway is a portal. And what are portals do? I'm thinking it's a portal to ascension, a portal to that third eye activation. This is activation time, y'all. They're talking in codes, right? It's not a coincidence that this is called 3-eye atlas, and they spell it with the letter I, right? But it's third eye activation. It's the third eye atlas. It's not a coincidence that when you look up the atlas, that it is a vertebrae, that looks like a gateway, a portal, right? It's our time to activate. Many of us will be activated during this time, this energy, and they're letting each other know.
You too, Cam. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you.
Also, when the C1 vertebrae, which is the atlas vertebrae, is in complete energetic alignment, it helps to support the free flowing of life force energy that flows up from the spine to the crown to the third eye. It's really a time to stay as grounded as possible. Stay in that love frequency. We gotta really stay in that positive love frequency as much as possible, especially right now, because things are about to get real. Okay? And there's a lot of people that have been talking about they've had a lot of pressure headaches, tension, nasal congestion, anything within that head, that crown, and that third eye area. It's all part of the purge. We're purging, right? Because, like I mentioned, many of us are about to be activated. So get ready, y'all. It's about to go down. It is the third eye atlas. Peace, love, and light.
If you really want to get that Kundalini energy, or what we're going to call, let's just call it the rising charisma, or because they hate the word Kundalini. They say it's attached to demon. Give it another word. Let's call it being baptized by the Holy Spirit, fire, or being baptized by the Holy Spirit. If you really want to rise that, you see, this is the spinal column right here. And these are the 33 vertebrae, how Christ died 33, and he was crucified 33, and then he resurrected out of his sepulcher because the pineal gland opened up. If you want to get that charisma, or what you call cerebral spinal fluid, the charisma, or the Kundalini energy, whatever y'all want to call it, in order to truly awaken that and get that up that spinal cord, for it to actually be crucified, the lower nature can be crucified, or you can sacrifice it daily to your lower animalistic beastly nature, or what you call Saturn. You see that? In order to make that happen, you have to abstain from sex. Don't be having no sex contact, and don't be jacking a baby. The longer and longer you save that sex energy, that chrism or that Christos, or what we call the Christ, will rise, and it will walk to Calvary or walk to Jerusalem, and it will be crucified at the 33-degree vertebrae, and that way you can awaken that energy and awaken the tree of life. You see that? Which is called the pineal gland, for you can see God face to face. So you have to abstain from sex or masking. And once I got rid of my parasites through my detox, you know, I wasn't masking like that at all. So it showed me that
parasite
the was
cleansing
causing me to watch. So most definitely you're gonna need the geogenetic level 1. And then you need to do some breath work. Make sure when you wake up in the morning, you're sitting in your lotus posture. You aligning the spinal column. Make sure you're aligning L5. Make sure you're aligning L4. Make sure you're aligning L1 of the back. And you're getting that right breathing in. When you're sitting like that, make sure you breathe in through your nasal passage like this. And when you're breathing in, expand your diaphragm. Try to expand your lungs as full as possible. It's called a complete breath. So you hold it, and then when you exhale, and you crunch, you get in a feet position when you exhale, and to get all of that carbon dioxide out of your body. That is a complete breath cycle. Try to get your breaths down to 28 breaths, complete breaths per minute, and that'll bring all of that prana and all of that Holy Spirit, that Holy Ghost, or what we call the shamana breath, the air,
put your
into
hand
the
over your
body, and
stomach.
it will alkaline the body. And look,
Breathe
these
in and
terms
out.
hate breathing. They hate breath work. Look, y'all, we have another banger, man.
Now listen, y'all.
I think that when they were looking through Project Looking Glass, I'm pretty sure they've seen a bunch of different outcomes. But
I want to watch this video. It's a man called Bobby Hemmitt. Now, he cusses, okay? And he also, you would think while he talks about, you would think he was prejudiced, okay? I want you to grow up and listen to the information he's saying. Read between the lines. I mean, you know, ignore the stuff like that because it's real informational on what's finna happen, okay? For those who do not know, okay? So ignore that. He's not prejudiced, but he's speaking truth on what's happening, okay? Let me pull him up. Let me see which video I want to watch. Should I do, let me see. Let me go back. Oh, shoot. Trying to find one shorter. Okay. Mystery of the Phoenix, Gateway to God. Since they're talking about the gateway. So ignore the just get the knowledge, okay?
Better performance, better durability.
Honoring the ancestors. My ancestors are y'all ancestors.
Ain, Ashe, Ain Sa'o, Ashe Keba, Ashe Shakma, Ashe Bina, Ashe Chef, Ashe Gebra, Ashe Tiprit, Ashe Nod, Ashe Yasad, Ashe Natsad, Ashe Had, Ashe Yased, Ashe Da, Ashe Malkut, Ashe Aether, Ashe Celios, Ashe Magomeda, Ashe Jupiter, Ashe Mars, Ashe Helios, Ashe Venus, Ashe Mercury, Ashe Diana, Ashe Ceres, Ashe Aether, Ashe Urea, Ashe Rhea, Ashe Zeus, I say Aries, I say Apollo, I say Aphrodite, I say Hermes, I say Artemis, I say Demeter, I say Osea, I say Tahuti, I say Mayat, I say Ptah, I say Sut, I say Sutnesi, I say Ra, I say Amen-Ra, I say Amen-Rentha, I say Het-Heru, I say Anpu, I say Aset, I say Nebherd, I say Yema, I say Odin, I say Fragda, I say Frigga, I say Balda, I say Laki, I say some more water. I gotta, and also, hold on, while I'm getting at it, yeah, I got another characteristics of the Camite gods I'm gonna do today also too. I say Laki, I say Thor, I say Freya, I say Freya, I say Sif, I say Nurthris, I say Brahmin, I say Vishnu, I say Brahmini, I say Ramachandra, I say Shiva, I say Shakti, I say Sita, I say Hanuman, I say Lakshmi, I say Jindriya, I say Dambawalawedo, I say Papagade, I say Loa, I say Marasha, I say Bridget, I say Bachman, I say Adam Gwerdi, I say Ogu Farili, I say Ogu Shango, I say Azurli, I say Legba, I say Edowedo, I say Zaka, I say Alapi, I say Oshosi, I say Olakun, I say Marie Levine, I say Oduduwa, I say Orunla, I say Ogun, I say Shango, I say Oshun, I say Legba, I say Jeminja, I say Orisha Oku, I say still that while I'm doing this, because I got to do the I have another list of some real Camite deities I'm gonna do. Ra, I say Ka, I say Ba, I say Ad, I say Ku, I say Sahu, I say Cat, I say Captain, I say Cat, I say Second, I say Shekinah, I say Osea, I say Foot, I say Ama, I say Neama, I say Ba, I say Na, I say Yuguru, I say Nomo, I say Yuguru, I say Kuntu, I say Digitalia figures, I say, yeah. Where's another one up under there? Yeah, okay, yeah, give me that right now. I say Ikingu, I say Imana, I say Muzima, I say Muzima, I say Kamara, I say Hingu, I say Muzimu, I say Marambu, I say Rarim, Kaki, I say Muzimu, I say Bo, I say Da, I say Seldo, I say Zodo, I say Pa, I say all your family, all my family, all my family, I say Mawa, I say Legba, I say Akanapan, I say Akra, I say Netro, I say Yakmakya, I say Sansaban, I say Alampo, I say Sansamam, I say Oku, I say Kimi, I say Sansamam, I say Nakampa, I say Umbelinga, I say Kulakulu, I say Hefta, I say Cthulhu, I say Nilahotep, I say Azathoth, I say Shubnigara, I say Dagon, I say Dogon, I say Great old ones, I say deep ones, I say great ones, I say Sutnesi, I say Sutnubit, I say Pan, I say Inanna, I say Ishtar, I say Marduk, I say Tiamat, I say Nibiru, I say Kuntu, I say Hu, I say Raherukahuti, I say Harpaprat, I say Harmaku, I say Harmakis, I say okay. Nude, I say Apit, I say Tired, I say Raziel, I say Kaviel, I say Haniel, I say Bubiel, I say Laxbiel, I say Iniel, I say Elijah, I say John, I say Quetzalcoatl, I say Yeshua, I say Atan, I say Medera Atan, I say Meskinit, I say Tetragrammaton, I say After Earth, I say Abra, I say Bridget, I say Mithra, I say okay, Tammuz, I say Doozy, I say Amenrintha, I say Amset, I say Ekar, I say Aminet, I say Amen, I say Andadeti, I say Antaeus, I say Anpu, I say Anukit, I say Apis, I say Astarte, I say Adon, I say Atum, I say Bastet, I say Beth, I say Butchit, I say Dadoon, I say Dawamutep, I say Ejo, I say Gael, I say give me another one of them. I will keep it rolling. Ha, I say Happy, I say Hartidi, I say Herindados, I say Hamakis, I say Hermerti, I say Horus, I say Heru, I say Heru-ur, I say Hopacrat, I say Heart Shape, I say Hericidus, I say Heru, I say Hetmahet, I say Heket, I say Hemmitt, I say Herus, I say Heru's children, I say Hu, I say I say Imhotep Amutis, I say Aset, I say
Kadash, I say Kabasnukep, I say Kimutep, I say Kentucky, I say Kinti Amintu, I say Kinti Ertu, I say Kepri, I say Kanum, I say Combs, I say Mayat, I say Meskinet, I say Men, I say Minibus, I say Muff, I say Mutt, I say Mintu, I say Nanette, I say Muntu, I say Kunsu, I say Nepatim, I say Nuth, I say Nekbet, I say Nepturt, I say Nefri, I say Nuth, I say Honorus, I say Osir, I say Petbi, I say Patah, I say Reed, I say Reshef, I say.
Giving honor to the ancestors
Well,
first.
now, college is over, and here comes.
Therapist, I say Faithist,
All right, Venus.
I say Sashet,
I'm gonna have
I
to
say Soot,
take
I
you out
say
of here.
Set,
Chill
I
out.
say Shade, I say Shed, I say Shoe, I say Saya, I say Sobek, I say Soccerist, I say Sadu, I say Sartis, I say Tatanin, I say Tamutis, I say Those, I say Thoraris, I say Onet, I say Upwarit, I say. I guess that would do it for that and all. Thunderdog, I say Thunderbird, I say White Buffalo, I say to all gods known and unknown, I say the Hemmitt family, I say the Shaw family, I say the Davis family.
Shallow family, Cunningham
So
family,
when I count to three,
Robson
1, 2, 3,
family,
start calling out your family members. 1, 2, 3.
family, Cobra
I
family,
say,
Cobra
I say,
family,
I say,
Jones
I say,
family,
I
Williams
say,
family,
I say,
Truitt family,
I say, I say, I say, I say, I say to all gods known and unknown. I say to all ancestors known and unknown. I say, all right. Yes, sir. Get some energy. You might want to pull that out, I guess. I guess so it won't spill. Okay. All right. Now it's interesting because what it is what we have learned. Well, I just want to put this on the tape. The second day in Philly, and Sister Delilah. Yesterday we had a great one, and Sister Miriam. And what's the name of your place again? Peace of Heaven. And so this is phase 2. It's funny because it's all a lot of powerful sisters up here in Philly, which is mentioned in Beginner's Guide to Revelation, Robin Robertson book, Beginner's Guide to Revelation, which is, I think it's a very good book for the simple fact it just doesn't deal with the Christian mythos, but it deals with Dogon. It deals with Dogon. It deals with the Camite or the Egyptian. It also deals with the
Yeah, give me some likes when y'all come in. Thank you for the likes. Appreciate it.
Which is quantum physics.
Now, he's not prejudiced, okay? Look beyond the cussing, the prejudice. He's giving me vital information, okay?
It's all about melanin magic, but they got the new word.
My mama always said the truth can come from a hellish mouth.
In that book, The Sign of the Serpent, that we will access again, creative physics, which is all about
this is what's happening now.
Chaos physics, what they call. And basically, these are new words that explain alchemy. Now, like we always say, and I pay homage because I was in Dr. Jen's little mystery system and all, and I came out of the Afrocentric movement, and, came out of the Farrakhan thing, and, that whole thing that was going on at that particular time in the early 90s. But unfortunately, what happened is like when I went to see John Henry Clark in '94, I used to meet with him in the hotel room when he would come down to Atlanta, he and Dr. Ben. And I went to go see him in '94. They opened up this Clark House, which was this house that they dedicated this brownstone to John Henry Clark. And they had 2 younger brothers up in there giving some new science. One brother was dealing with the whole New World Order thing, and I was dealing with basically metaphysical stuff. And the whole time there was a group of people that was hunching Dr. Ben with John Henry Clark, and they said, John Henry Clark saying, is this stuff true? And John Henry Clark was looking at them saying, I don't know. Why the hell you ask him? He the expert at that. So the key is, what it was is, for some reason, that it was a group of people, like a first world crew, that just figured that when they got the Afrocentric part, they got all the end-all and be-all there was of knowledge. Unfortunately, what they didn't realize and I mentioned this yesterday, how is it that every voice we have with just basic civil rights...
No, it's not. It's herbs like
Then all of a sudden,
oregano,
we come out in the
basil, clean your
1990s and
system
late
out,
80s and just talk
colds.
stuff and nobody dies. And that is
You
because
want to
we understand that even the stuff that we got from
cut ties
Aztec
with people,
was only the stuff
maybe
that the white boy
have sex
allowed
with,
us
or
to even go
cut
in and
ties.
research and say we uncovered our shit.
People trying to
You understand where I'm coming from?
make you think about them all the
We're talking
time.
about being victims of library colonization. So Dr. Ben and John Henry Clark did great work. Nobody can deny that. But for some reason, we started calling them our illustrious scholars. First of all, you don't never let nobody call you no scholar or no kind of shit like that, because knowledge is what? Infinite.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And Dr. Ben had a lot of problems
Put me
with
on
that.
no pedestal.
He would start organizations, and then he would just leave.
I'm learning like everybody is.
Next thing you know, they'd be left with an organization without a leader. He was good for that, which was good, because Dr. Ben was trying to tell them, hey, fuck it, we all students. And we supposed to be looking at this thing as students. Otherwise, go join a leader group. We got plenty of leaders groups, you know what I'm saying, where a person says something and all and say that you shouldn't be reading other stuff. Now, it's good. It's funny because that's what you call it is doing now. Raul Nefer. Big problem with that down in Atlanta. Telling the people they shouldn't read certain books.
And nobody tell you what you shouldn't read.
Just switch.
Oh, shit.
You know what I'm saying? Let me draw the conclusion. You know, so these are problems, and this age-old problems that we have is called the crisis of the Negro intellectual. I'm not talking about Harold Cruz, but I'm saying there is a crisis of the Negro intellectual, but there's a crisis in intellectualism also.
Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate it.
The same thing that Crawley, the Theosophical Society, G.R.S. Mead, and a group of white people at the turn of the century was battling the same way. Whereas somebody's saying, this is the way shit's supposed to be presented. And as soon as you put a label on anything, you already limit the amount of energy or limit the capacity of how much you can rise by putting a limit on some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is the way something is. And one thing about it, like I had some good friends. I had a friend named Wise. Now, Wise was in the Nation of Islam. At that particular time, I started uncovering stuff in the Egyptian text that Elijah Muhammad had said. I'm running up on this shit, and I'm saying, hell, this stuff is the same stuff that Elijah Muhammad was saying. But I told Wise, I said, Wise, you got a problem like this. I said, for some reason, and this is what it is with the ego, but Wise was 19 or 20, so that's that young puffed up shit, you know. Wise wanted to take what, you know, Elijah Muhammad or Noble Drew Ali said to the exact science, whereas this is the absolute. And there was a brother that was a 5% Muslim, and he was also in the Afrocentric movement. We was all going and accessing Dr. Ben and all. We was reading Civilization of Barbarism at that time, Diop and all. And the brothers kept telling him he was a 5%er, you know, but they're a little more free, it's basically, they're out in the street, but they call themselves the God and all this, but they're a little more free in the thinking. And he kept telling Wise, there are no absolutes in nothing. There is no absolute in nothing. And I'm looking at that in quantum physics now. And if you understand melanin and understand spirits, there are no absolutes, because when you put something absolute, you put it in a container. And when you put anything in a damn container, that means it cannot grow any further. And that's what fundamentalism and that's what sectarian religions did in the last 2,000 years. There are no absolutes. So there's no such thing as saying, this is a certain way that we go about scholarship. That's bullshit. That's what the European taught us. You see what I'm saying? Meanwhile, he's accessing all our shit. You even turn on the Discovery Channel. He's doing unorthodox ways to do stuff. Penis implants and shit. But yet there's an orthodox way you're supposed to do stuff. You know what I'm saying at all? You know? All kinds of stuff. Giving motherfuckers monkey hearts and shit. But yet, it's the orthodox way we do things. You understand what I'm saying? And even Crawley, when he died, and even in his book, the Book of Thoth, he said, I find this problem with this British 19th century mentality that spilled over into the 20th century up until the damn 60s, is that he said, I go around the world and I find an innocence in the indigenous people, and what the European man has to do is he got to get put on a certain amount of innocence. He must receive the innocence if he's going to save himself. So, for the last 130 years, or basically let's say good 20, 30, 40 years, or whatever. Well, we can even go back to doggone W.E.B. Du Bois and that whole crew. We we have taken on this same British mentality on the way we're going to look at some shit. You understand what I'm saying? We're going to look at something that's got to fit these three basic modes. And we don't understand that even the scholars, Dr. Ben and John Henry Clark, and even Asa Hilliard and Charles Finch, I've talked to them personally, and they didn't believe some of the things that they was conveying, but they had a damn head of the department over there, so they couldn't say certain things outside of that because those people got jobs. So the difference between some stuff, well, you can go and say what the hell you want is based on whether you got a job or not. You know what I'm saying? So Van Sertima can't say a certain amount of things at Rutgers. You see what I'm saying? Charles Finch can't say a certain amount of things at the Morehouse School of Medicine, although he does believe greater things than what he even published. You understand what I'm saying? But that's based on that, so we follow the illustrious, what we call intellectuals and all, but privately. You know spiritual things all the time, and there's no certain way that we deal with things a certain way. It's just that those people stuck to a model to save their ass. You understand what I'm saying? They saw what happened to Leonard Jeffries. And hell, he wasn't doing it. It made an example out of that nigga's behind. So this is the criteria. Take, for instance, I got a friend that I met about 3 weeks ago. About a month ago, I met this brother, and this brother was searching.
Some likes when y'all come in. I appreciate it.
The brother loves the information. But somewhere in the information that he's receiving, in this metaphysical or spiritual realm, he's always stopping and he always has problems processing the information. And I said, the reason why you have problem processing the information is because
Bobby Hemmitt, he's giving knowledge on what's happening today. Why they so in the uproar. Chaos. Why chaos is happening. It's a shift. The new world order, not the one they talking about.
Before you even let this information sink into your brain, your ego tells you that you got to rebut the shit. And you thinking of your rebuttal before you even let the shit process.
Keep your minds open. Keep your minds open. He cusses, talks about different cultures. But listen to the knowledge.
Give it a chance to process. Say, well, I'm going to ponder on this.
No, we're not. In the last day of the shift.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to ponder on this for a week because I understand there is no such thing as absolute. So therefore, what you're saying is something that I might be able to come around to with some reasoning. You see, but the way the mentality is based on the way we are trained is he was not giving himself time to process the data. You see? And why is that? Because he had something preconceived inside of him in the first damn place. You see where I'm coming from? So that's why you go back and look at Empire Strikes Back, the second movie. In the movie, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and like I said, that's the damn movie, but I just showed you called the new advanced stuff, and I explained this the last time I was here. The new advanced stuff is what? Quantum psychology. And in there you have the holographic universe by Michael Calvert. And in the front of the book, which is in the physics section at Barnes & Noble, he starts off explaining his whole thesis based on what? Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Star Wars shit. You see what I'm saying? Because even Joseph Campbell, when he wanted to explain mythology, he went to George Lucas for him, because these Jews, that's where they go and get their shit from mythology. You see what I'm saying? So now, in the second version, or the second part of Empire Strikes Back, Obi-Wan Kenobi is the person that's dead. You got little Yoda is supposed to be teaching Luke Skywalker. But Yoda is having a conversation with Obi-Wan Kenobi, but Luke Skywalker can't see him because Luke Skywalker hasn't gotten to that type of knowledge where he can see the people who have ascended. And they're having a conversation on the fate of Luke Skywalker and whether he can be trained or not, or whether he can learn or not.
The shift of Aquarius age. A new rulership, the true rulership, ancestors coming back.
No, trust me. He's got the right stuff. He can learn this stuff. And what Yoda was trying to say was, at a certain age, we get certain preconceived notion on what the fucking world is. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody can tell us shit. And then when we go and get an education, or get some fool to validate our ignorance, nobody really can't tell you nothing. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really can't tell you anything. So what I'm saying is there are no absolutes.
Oh, Bobby Hemmitt. He cusses a lot, talks about different cultures. Just get the knowledge, okay?
chaos physics, all of them tell you that there are no absolutes. There are no absolutes.
Thanks for the heart. I appreciate
you. You got to give your mind to function just like nature. Nature is a series of contradictions. Just like them bushes out there, you ain't going to have one leaf that's identical.
Correct.
But it doesn't have to be. You see what I'm saying? We don't deal with the linear perspective of a right brain, of this left brain type of mentality that things have to fit in a fucking box. Because you can't box no motherfucking water, if you really know what I'm talking about. Or you can't box no fucking energy. You see what I'm saying? You get an explosion. So what it is what we have a concept is we got to reteach ourselves on how to learn.
Stop not a troll.
Because the beast came in and told us there's a certain way that things need to line up. And I'm saying, well, wait a minute. Why do they have to line up that way? Do they really have to line up that way for you to believe it, or do they have to line up that way for the simple fact that you want to go and show the damn whiteboard its model and say, nah, I done put it in the model and it still lines up that way? I mean, what are we in this thing for in the first place? Are we in this stuff to get results? Or are we in this stuff to just try to just basically intellectualize so we can feel good about ourselves? You know? So basically, we have to teach ourselves how to actually speak, train ourselves actually how to learn. So let's get into some certain things. There's a movie out, because this is what the white boy is doing now. He's doing this now. There's a movie out called Spirit Lost. Spirit Lost. It was put out by what's the guy that played on Frank's Place, Tim Reed. Tim Reed saying, but we don't have now the black man don't have no problem producing a movie. The white man didn't put the jumping out saying, hell, we're not just going to distribute stuff. So a lot of the movies have to go straight to video. So the movie Spirit Lost is a movie that it's a movie about this particular sister that didn't know she was dead, and she died in like slavery. But when the other people moved into her house and stuff, she started having an affair with this particular man in real life. And anyway, it took some sisters that was in the Yoruba to get her out of there, you know. And so it's a very good movie, and I think the movie they didn't want to show a spiritual side of black people other than jumping around in a goddamn church. So the preacher's wife could get released, you know what I'm saying? But the Spirit Lost couldn't, and it went straight to video. But I know it's on video now. So, Yeah, you got it from her, didn't you? Yeah, I got a copy from her too. Very good video. Now it's interesting because all over the country, in '95, one of the biggest metaphysical bookstores in America closed down, Samuel Weiser in New York. In Atlanta, you had Oxford Bookstore, which is this big, huge bookstore. They had 2 or 3 of them. It closed down last 2 weeks ago. As well as Avalon, this big metaphysical bookstore. And all across the country, a lot of these are being closed down, but also Barnes & Noble is moving in and closing these things down, because the government say, well, what we'll do is to close down these particular smaller bookstores, which we don't have a control over what kind of knowledge these people will order. Barnes & Nobles will move into the town and will say, well, we can order the books free of charge, and we can charge you less or whatever, because we can get this stuff on a big bulk or whatever, because we are a chain store. And so what they do is they go in and before you know it, all these other stores cannot deal with the deal with the actual competition of Barnes & Nobles. And also Barnes & Noble got a nice coffee shop and nice hardwood chairs and desks and stuff and all. And so the atmosphere, and so they get the bulk of the people coming. And so Borders and Barnes & Nobles are the ones that's moving in, and they're closing down these other bookstores. And that's another way of monitoring what's actually getting out, especially the metaphysical stuff. You see what I'm saying? So I was saying, when it came to Dr. Ben and John Henry Clark and all of those type of things, we got some people that got stuck in a rut. The part was those people came up and they were supposed to give us an introduction into greater mysteries. Because the whole time they kept talking about the mystery system, the mystery system, the mystery system. But nobody could tell you what the fuck the mystery system was. So they just give you one fragment of the mystery system in Stolen Legacy, which is a beautiful book if you've never heard anything metaphysical before. It's a great book. But as you know, once you get into the metaphysical, you can see that it's quite arcane. You know what I'm saying? But other than stolen legacy, most people didn't realize that the mystery was even greater than that. You see what I'm saying? And then some people thought that Diop was actually dealing with the mystery. You see what I'm saying? But that was only an introduction. Now, I propose that everybody needs an Afrocentric base when you deal with the metaphysical thing, because we understand that the white people, that although they ever give you all this stuff, they're not going to exactly say it's black. You see what I'm saying? They're not going to exactly say it's black. But then again, when reading those particular books, I don't supposed to have the inferiority complex that this man has got the document. You understand my political structure of whether shit is black or not. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be a little more secure than that. You know what I'm saying? And also, what I was saying is a brother named from Africa named Shuddy. And the brother, I kept telling Shuddy, I said, Shuddy said, well, as far as I'm concerned, let me see if Shuddy said, as far as I'm concerned, there should be no room for a white scholarship, period. I said, well, hell, if you look on the back of John Henry Clark and Dr. Ben books, they got a whole lot of white books there. As a matter, you know, I'm saying, so it's not even a matter of that. I say, first of all, you take knowledge wherever you can get it. It's just a matter is that the cracker don't have to tell me the shit is black. I suppose I already know that. You see what I'm saying? I suppose I already know that. But what I'm trying to say is that Dr. Ben and all of them set the stage. But it didn't mean that after you got that and start wearing some bullshit kidney cloth that you're supposed to say that's it. You know what I'm saying? Now that's more of a clown shit now, if you notice and stuff. Motherfuckers are laughing at that shit now, you know? How much more can we talk about we were the pharaohs? Now we got to get into the mystery. Well, what was the mystery? So now we deal with the lost pages of the mystery. You understand what I'm saying? But it doesn't necessarily fit into what is called what the five senses can perceive. That's what the mystery is. And plus, if it did make sense, ain't no sense in your motherfucking ass trying to learn that. You see what I'm saying? If you can agree with every damn thing. And it's got to fit your own frame of references. That's not knowledge. Knowledge is supposed to be strange. You understand what I'm saying? It's no different than a mug. If you'd have told a person, a cracker in 15th century England about the light bulb, he would say, you crazy. But that mean it's under the end all and be all, because you know what I'm saying? Because we're talking about knowledge here. It doesn't necessarily have to fit our view of things. You know. So, which also deals with Elijah. Before he left, he gave a prophecy. He said that there would be pamphlets that will fall from the sky. And when these pamphlets stop falling, it's over. Which means that a lot of these bookstores and a lot of access to all this particular information is now closing down. It's closing down. Also because the internet is running a lot of stuff out of business now. Somebody can go in and download information for free. So therefore, anybody gonna pay no $14 for no book. Or $20 or $30 for no book. Which is dangerous, especially in a non-intellectual society like America. America is the Jethro Bodine to the fucking world. So therefore, we can't even go with a doggone American concept of, well, we should think shit is right and wrong, because hell, this is the most non-intellectual society in the world. Because you got TV. You see what I'm saying? So that's very key. Now, it's interesting because the guy, Eddie Griffin, came out with this HBO special. Now, I do happen to know that they got to the brother, because the brother is also dealing with the thing on how Africa is all fucked up. You see what I'm saying? Now, I don't care whether it is or not. You will never find no Jew or nobody get on TV and talk about their race and don't suffer the consequences. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying the reason why they even put him on is because he can say something fucked up. And that's one thing key that's actually going on. You got to realize that just about anything that's going to happen to us, they're going to use the entertainment to actually manifest whatever this beast wants to do. You see, they're going to use the entertainment factor to manifest in anything too. It's interesting about the thunderstorm in the place, Gerald, Texas. Number one, like I told you yesterday, that Gerald started with the Jerrel. a Y-A-R-R-E-L, yarrow, which is the same as jarrow, you see. Or Y-E-A-R-E-L. One is the second angel, one is the 22nd angel, and it's Y-E-I-L-E-E-L, which is the 58th angel. Basically, what the Kabbalistic breakdown was an element or elemental breakdown of the forces of the universe. And when these particular elements came together, it caused destruction. Because you saw this thing was super huge. Super huge. Okay, it happened on May 27th, 1997. So if you understand May is the 5th month and 27, both of those, 27 in the Kabbalistic breakdown is Heru, and May, which is 5 in the Kabbalistic breakdown, is also Horus. So you have the double Horus again of both horizons. So we're talking about not only when we're talking about mythology, we're talking about certain elements, and when they come together, they wreak havoc. So when they was dealing with the Kabbalistic breakdown of these particular elements, and these numbers lined up, it caused a force based on the two forces of nature. It caused the force that did that and all. And basically, because this stuff has an intelligence of its own, it killed all them white people. Because it never hits the ghetto. Very key that you understand that. Very key that you understand that. Which is, like I said, that women at this particular time need to start using their menstrual cycle to control those particular elements at this particular time. You see. To control those particular elements at that particular time. Now, it's interesting because the cartoon X-Files, they have a black woman. Even though she has blonde hair, she's black. She's from Mount Kilimanjaro, Africa. Her name is Storm. That's in, not the X-Files, but the X-Men. The X-Men. The cartoon, I know it used to come on every day, but it does come on Saturday morning. But one of the figures is Storm from Mount Kilimanjaro, Africa. And she's basically Oya. And she controls basically the elements. But they call her Storm, which is actually Oya. You ever get the Book of Oya? They still sell that book? The Book of Oya. O-Y-A. The Book of Oya. Anyway, but in that book it shows how these certain elements come together and these certain winds and all, which is actually a spiritual science.
How you doing, Howard?
Spiritual science and all. So, it's very key that you get that. And it's also showing you the different elements in each particular science in the movie Fifth Element. Which the fifth element, the 5 elements was earth, water, air, and fire. And the fifth element was supposed to be this girl, although they made her white, she was supposed to be the perfecting agent, or where all these particular elements come together and perform melanin. And the fifth element is the human body. In this case, it was the black body. But they even showed, they said, well, you know, take the white girl out and try to understand the science behind it. And all, because they also got it on paperback book. But you're supposed to, the fifth element, they said when they checked her DNA strands, that the average DNA strand was 2 double helical structures, and she had like over 100. Well, what were they talking about? Over 100 DNA strands. Over 100 DNA strands is nothing but melanin. Because the melanin has every composite in the universe in it. So if it has every sign, every type of element in the universe in melanin, then you're talking about over 100 DNA strands, over 1,000. You see what I'm saying? Over 1,000. That's all dealing with the art of alchemy that we'll get into also this particular night. Also, the fifth element was also a form of Hitler's secret government, which we're going to get into also to show you how these things line up throughout history, which there's an occult history of the earth, which Adolf Hitler was a part of that occult history. A part of that occult history. Plus, white people hate him to death. And I'll explain why, too. He's to be admired, but you take me up on this. This is not like the Nazi skinhead people talking. This is talking about some other high science, because when I give you the dialectical opposite of what he's battling and shit, I say go to hell right on, Hitler. You my boy. Because he fucked Europe up. But we'll deal with that. We'll deal with that also, too. In the 1980s, there was top 10
Hey, John.
10 black women in the porn industry. In the 1990s, there's literally hundreds.
I like y'all when y'all come in. I appreciate it.
Why is that? Why is it that the porn would be so taboo, even up until the late 80s, that you wouldn't have 10 women in the whole porn industry? But then all of a sudden, in the 1990s, you would have a shift, almost damn near 100% shift of literally hundreds of being non-existent in the doggone 80s. That is because of what? Cloning. That is because of cloning. And this is another example when we talk about the cloning that's being done, carried out, probably by Temple here in here. What's the medical college here? Well, that would be your cloning. Yeah, one of those would be your cloning facilities, as well as Emory is the one that's got it hands down, which is being financed by Coca-Cola in Atlanta, because the guy, Robert W. Woodruff, his family was the legacy shareholders to Coca-Cola, left most of his money, a lot of his money, and the research was funneled into Emory University. And so they're like the #1 cloning center, with the cloning center being on Holcomb Bridge Road, as well as even 1991, open up a museum specializing in Egyptian artifacts, Akanite artifacts, and which supposedly within the next year or so will be one of the biggest Egyptology schools in the world. That's what they've been building for the last 6 or 7 years. But all of this particular stuff has also to do with the cloning factor, which I'll get into later on, because I got some other information also we'll get into also too. But in the 1960s, what we have now is a fundamental breakdown that now looking back of what is called the government separation of the races or the class groups from the 1960s. Which means is that they isolated the so-called upward mobile from the underclass to the point, especially in the 1970s, that it was such a great and excellent program for them that was so successful until now. It's like you being in 2 different dimensions. Whereas some of the most hideous places in the city, and I can speak for Atlanta, places like McDaniel Glen, Carver Homes, McDaniel Glen, Perry Homes, which are these great projects which has the most poverty-stricken underclass. It's almost like another dimension for not just for college people, but for the average citizen that is upward mobile. And when I say upward mobile, I'm just talking about, goddamn it, making about $200 a week, especially down south, with top rent is $500, But what I'm saying is it created a whole nother dimension, whereas some people could be living in the same city and will be almost like you living in Australia from them. So therefore, they can kill 12 million since 1990, and we wouldn't even know, because of the dimension that they created in the separation of classes among the haves and the have-nots. Now, when your boy E. Franklin Frazier, black bourgeoisie, recognized that and said it would be a war. But we're talking about a whole dimension. We're talking about a dimension on even language. A whole dimension on how you might pass by these people every day on the work, but can be in a whole dimension. So we're saying within a room setting, a public room, a mall or something, you can have different dimensions of people in different worlds and multi-dimensional worlds in one mall. You'd have the black upward mobile and be in another dimension from the actual black, But even he would be in a whole other dimension from the white upward mobile. So this is this particular, what we call, not, we would call genetic reservation, or what we would call conscious reserve, where you can be in a reservation in your consciousness. And therefore, the government can control the way you think just by this great separation plan that he did and was successful in the starting in the 1960s, but basically broke this thing apart in the 1970s. Which the Kerner report said, if you don't fix this shit by 1980, it'll be all over. And this is 1990, so can you imagine the actual onslaught of hell that we actually live in at this particular time? We're just going through the hard copies. In the 1970s, the white boys decided that they were also going to celebrate the Moors. For some reason, it had something to do with Noble Drew Ali, because Noble Drew Ali was supposed to have rose up on an Indian reservation in North Carolina. Supposedly, I think that was his home. To celebrate that the North Carolina cigarette companies and Virginia, all that's the same people, put out the cigarette called the Moor. They just put the M-O-R-E, but it was a black cigarette, which celebrated the Moors in the 1970s.
Don't worry about that, Jay. Listen to the message.
A whole lot of ideas. Number one, like I said yesterday, they had an HBO special and it was talking about people losing brain cells. And the remedy to that, of people losing brain cells in their later years, was to give them random exercises that were not routine. To let them exercise their minds. Take them on certain field trips. Take them on, do everything that the
Listen to the message.
60 and 70 would not do.
How am I trying?
And they made smarter
Jay Anderson.
people. As a matter of fact, these people started reversing the actual
if you take care of them, they won't.
As they was going back to teenage years with a 70, 80-year-old body.
I used to eat a lot of Snicker bars and Captain Crunch cereals.
You see what I'm saying? And that's not even.
I'm not taking care of my teeth right.
Well, I'm quite sure white people without melanin, they couldn't do that. But can you imagine what could happen if you could actually have the ether skin, the melanin skin, to regenerate that also?
I got teeth in the front.
The conclusion is that
if you're not going to listen to the message, I'm gonna get you out of here.
And I'm not talking about a psychological disease, whereas a figure of speech, because we deal so much in figure of speech. So when we say ignorance is a disease, you go, amen. No, I'm saying an actual disease. Whereas if you catch it, you have to work just that hard, or it might be damn fatal. In most cases, it's fatal, especially if you was never taught how to think from a child. Whereas I know people.
Okay, my cinema.
Nothing. Because there's a time delay in the thought process. You see what I'm saying? It's a time delay because there's not enough muscle in between. And when I'm saying muscle, sometimes that could be something metaphysical. It could be blockages. There's not enough muscle, and there's a blockage in between receiving something and processing it to the least common denominator. You see what I'm saying? And so basically we all have those particular blockages. But then again, on the other hand, I don't think that even registers with the people here and all, because the simple fact that you fought through some of that just to have a hunger for even knowledge. But we're talking about an actual disease like fucking cancer. Then you can understand where you say,
gotta happen. Me too, but gotta happen.
Why couldn't you get it? You sat there and elected just like everybody else. You was amazed
hey, Purity.
to the point where as
we know.
You heard it registered might be the range of somebody's voice. But still, ignorance is the actual disease at this particular time. And we know that that's prevalent in the black community. Some type of blockage based on oppression. Based on oppression. It is a disease. Now, this is the interesting thing. The brother Juju told me back in 95, he said
listen to the message. Purity.
You're going to have the black radical element, but you also going to have a civil rights handkerchief head element. So their whole thing is they love racism, but they're thinking that racism is some political type of tool or something that you can put on and put off. So the white man is going lie like George Wallace. I've changed. And every goddamn nigga down there vote the motherfucker in. You know. And I was saying, first of all, you are dealing with racism as an abstract and an objective type point where you're not understanding of a person's nature based on their energy. Racism is only the expression which you cannot express and still have a certain nature of hate or evil. The difference between somebody's expression and somebody's nature. So a person can change their expression and fool all the niggas in the world. Now, the brother Jew by being this advanced psychic that he is, mysterious brother, said, white people, remember I told you that white people can't take black people's energy. It's a certain energy you give off and they reject that energy. Remember I said that? But I also made synopsis and made summaries in previous lectures. I said that the white man loves older people. They like older black men and older black women. It's just that somebody in the prime of their energy they can't take. Why is this? It bears witness because in the HBO report about people losing brain cells and people losing energy, there's a certain amount of energy that black people have, and by routine life, everyday life of routine, that energy starts to evaporate. Because you're not getting the essentials to keep that energy going. It's either like a corporate structure. You either go up or you get the hell out. Same thing with the energy. The energy evaporates for the simple fact that we put through this routine life, and not just that, a routine way of knowledge, a routine way of thinking. Thinking in the so-called absolute terms, which is a blockage, because there's no absolute. So what happens is this energy dissipates after so many years, because it's like this energy, you either use it or lose it. It's just like a muscle. So when this energy starts to dissipate and starts to evaporate to the point where as you become more docile, the white man then can take your energy. It's metaphysical. So older people, they like the old black man. They like the older black woman. You see, but they can take the energy. So it's also a metaphysical thing that the cracker was up from Philadelphia was talking about, get an old black man from South Carolina. You know, he was talking about as far as being on the jury and all this type of stuff. They can take the older black person because the older black person has lost a certain amount of energy. Yet they can't take a younger black person in the prime of life. Not unless that person is a psychopath, which he shut down most of his energy through oppression, and they can take that type of thing. You see, but that's very key to this. That's very key because when HBO gave the actual report about older people burning brain cells, it makes a lot of sense. Even if we even lose a fragment of that energy later on, then we can understand why white people would prefer older black people other than a brother in his 20s or a sister in his 20s or 30s. You know what I'm saying? In this case, when it conscious people way into your 60s or whatever the deal is, based on you still use your brain and don't dissipate. And for the mere fact that we're here today, we know that that's not us. You see what I'm saying? I want to deal with this at this particular time because this is a very key issue. First of all, we know that Jesse Jackson, for whatever, has done far more worse than good, other than a good feeling and sitting up there talking in front of crackers. We were just amazed that a black man in the 1984 could even talk amongst the crackers with politics, because that's how inferior we were. But anyway, and don't invade no issues. Oh, Jesse don't invade no issues. That kind of shit. But otherwise, Jesse Jackson, we understand, is one of the top government agents. Now, we understand that he didn't coin the phrase African American. But Jesse Jackson is the one that got it to the point where he brought it to the world stage in 1988.
Boule.
Where people started saying it, and white people say, okay, this is what we're going to call you from now on. And the reason why is, number one, they had to get away from black, because that denotes a vast race of people. It's not just
Hey, Lavelle.
Whatever the hell that is. Two damn names that don't really fit nothing. You ain't shit, an African. You a Roman. What that? You a Roman. What was hell? Wasn't America? Best future wasn't he Italian too? You a double fucking Roman. White Roman at that. Ain't that a bitch? Pizza. But my point is.
Stop.
Shit.
Watch now. Land of the Bible.
He's crazy.
Immerse yourself in biblical sites. Feel.
I mean, what did he do to denote that? I mean, what great contribution did he do to denote that?
Not a damn thing.
That's what I'm saying. So that don't necessarily, you know what I'm saying. But my point is, why did they get to this particular African American thing? Number one, it was to first stop calling you black. Number two, it was to go against the divine name, nigger. Now, we know words of power, right? We know words of power. We spoke about this yesterday. Not only words of power, we know certain things kill white people and make them sick. Now, why was it, spiritually, after being called a nigger by the white man, we took on that name, and actually, it even sounds good as a great accent when we call ourselves that shit. Because it's metaphysical. Because nigger is in hundreds of ancient words. You know, Nicaragua, Niger. There's so many names that the word nigger, but the metaphysical name for nigger is melanin. Saul nigger. In your
You bad, ain't you?
Okay. The Saul nigger, which is
Exposio.
documented in the
Nude.
It's documented in your book. You ever get that book Solomon and Sheba by Kotu? She wrote the book Lilith. What's her name? Barbara Black Kotu. She wrote a little green book called Solomon and Sheba. And it's talking about the metaphysical implication of Solomon and Sheba, because we now know that the Hebrew had a mythology at first. So Solomon and Sheba was Osiris or Amun-Ra, and Sheba was Aset, before they turned it into a historical people later on. But Solomon and Sheba, as a matter of fact, I gave you a paper. Remember I gave you some papers on Alvin Boyd Q? I think I gave you a paper called The Blind Myth Makes Grotesque History. And it talks about how the people turn mythology and turn that shit into historicalized, and they fucking up everybody, especially this historical Jesus bullshit. But anyway,
Hey, Devante.
in that book, Solomon and Sheba, in that
Levine, I said hi already. I was talking to you.
the Saul nigger, which means the black sun, which he gets it from alchemy, which is coming out of the Library of Alexandria. When they robbed the Library of Alexandria, they changed it from the knowledge of Tahuti to what? Hermeticism. You see, just the Greek word for Tahuti, Hermes. In there, the word Saul, which means both Greek and Hebrew for sun, and nigger means black. It means the black sun, which means melanin. The Saul nigger. So, by us calling ourselves niggers, it was more authentic than African American and even black, because black is such a vague, a broad term.
You don't have to stay,
But nigger means
Drosky.
pure melanin.
I showed y'all what I was rolling up.
Which means pure melanin.
Hey, Danny Johnson. Y'all give me some likes when y'all come in. I appreciate it.
June Singer. She has the most scholarship written on it. Saul nigger. In the book Androgyny by June Singer. She's this Jung historian. Anyway, she wrote some real good books. One book is called Seeing Through the Invisible World, dealing with the holographic universe also too. But Androgyny by June Singer. If you never get your hands on that book, she has a couple of chapters on the Saul nigger and basically dealing with the alchemical part of the blackening stage, which we're gonna get into also today too. We're gonna get in that particular part too. Now, so it was now all of a sudden, TV is called the N-word, which will still fuck them up because even doing that is a word of power. Because if you go to any of the Egyptian texts, you will see the word Osiris and you'll see the word N.
It's healthy.
Throughout the whole text.
Get rid of cold,
Osiris,
especially oregano.
N.
You know, back in the day,
So
oregano they used for
they call us
diseases.
Osiris or Osir.
You can keep
They
all
can't
that
wait
out
for
your
Lucy.
system.
But it
Okay.
was but I saw an
Before
interview
they took over from the
of
woman,
a white man on
the
TV
medicine.
getting mad at a black man for saying the word
Herbs
nigga.
cure a lot of stuff. Look it up.
Why you call yourself niggas? He said, we keeping it real. I'm from the project. And hey, when I say nigga, the brothers still know I'm down. See, you can't understand it. The white man was mad as shit. You know? I said, wait, something up here. He should be happy. You know, based on what he knows. Well, based on what if he don't know, he said, I'm them fools or whatever. But the key is to spend this whole consensus the last 4 or 5 years to get this word nigga out of the vocabulary of black people because this thing is destroying them with words of power. And these words of power is coming back against them now.
Listen up, Texas. Fred Lawyer Insurance is now offering liability car insurance for as low as $59 per month. That's right, only $59 a month. Plus, if you can find a cheaper down payment anywhere in Texas, we'll beat it. Guaranteed. Fred Lawyer saves you money by offering great discounts. And now we're offering you a great rate of only $59.
Abracadabra. So, to document that, you get Barbara Black Cold Tubes book, which is the one you probably will be able to find. Solomon and Sheba, but there's ancient text. Now the ancient text comes by the way of ancient Hebrew text, which was brought up into Spain by the Moors, which was the greater keys of Solomon and the Gotia keys of Solomon in the Moorish manuscripts out of the University of Salamanca. And they translated the Saul nigger from the Hebrew text. So Barbara Black Cold Tube is dealing with what information that they got out of the British Museum that's up in there right now based on that particular stuff. Because the stuff from University of Salamanca and the ancient Moorish universities converted and went to the major museums, the Louvre, the Hermitage in Russia, which is not only just for art, but that shit has got a whole lot of Egyptian artifacts, and the British Museum.
Putin showed that.
And a whole lot of private collections. But then again, on the other hand, secret societies like the Rosicrucians, Golden Dawn Society, the Hermetic Brotherhood of Luxor, and all of these particular ones have now come and became purchased wide volumes of African metaphysical and spiritual material.
That's part 1. I'm not gonna listen to the rest.
Which they give to regular libraries.
Correct the mundo.
Which is underground. You can't even see that stuff. But regular libraries get what is called basically fabricated history of libraries.
We started reading in a minute. 999 portal. Gemini, hey Gemini, hey Sagittarius. We'll do Gemini first.
But even the particular information coming from the
Bobby Hemmitt.
that have this particular information, you can access this particular
Hey, Mr. 313.
You can access this particular information at a black bookstore, and you can't access this particular information at even history section at Barnes and Noble. Where you're going to have to go is you're going to have to go to comic book stores, which is the one I showed you downtown. Now, in the back of that comic book store, there's an industry called Chaos Industry. Now, I saw something that was amazing. But they got a big, thick book called the Nephilim. Big, thick book, about $22. And they have synthesized this information that you can either take it and read it as history, or it can be put into a board game for teenagers, ages 15 to 100 can play these particular role-playing games.
It's not read. I just showed y'all what I was smoking. Have to go back through the video and see.
From the occult world, which is hidden. But they we'll put the jump on the goddamn niggas. And so this is why Dr. Ben and John Henry Clark and all of the AFSCAC could be allowed in the
I heard it. Black Madonna, yeah.
True history is in the comic book stores. You see what I'm saying? So if you get the book The Nephilim, which is a book with over 100 pages, which deals with this particular information, The information is in there. Which it tells you in the first chapter that history, as we know it, only explains the surface of things. And even Charles Darwin was hired to turn that ape shit for all of history. But the ape shit is the root of white man's history, which we're going to get into tonight also too, with some new shit that went down. Because after they accessed this ape stuff a few months ago, about the last 2 years, they realized the time is up and we got to start apologizing to niggas.
The God Inky, he made the white folks.
Like I told you last night, that the New Age Messiah, based on white people, is Colin Powell.
Give me a like, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for the likes.
But the government messiahs, the New Age Messiah, they are still looking for a certain black man. Since
Thank you.
Chopra's from India, he could be considered that black man. They say that's good enough. Or the guy Maladoma Somé, you know, the guy that did like water from spirit, he could be the particular person. And they're working on Delbert Blair, you know. But I think Delbert Blair is a little smart. Because Delbert Blair is the kind of person, he'll say one thing to black people, another thing to white people. But he knows what time it is with black people, because he knows a lot more about melanin and his melanin wars. And he tell you, not all these crackers, he'll tell you when not everybody gonna make it.
Good morning,
So
Lorel.
don't slide on Delbert Blair, but what I'm trying to say is it's not like they're not looking at him. The reason why I say that, Delbert Blair recently, the reason why you haven't heard from him is because Delbert Blair's on a bigger circuit now. Delbert Blair's on $1 million white man circuit, which money is no object. You know, $4,500 is like chicken change to these people.
Who is Doe Lorel?
Bring you in, you say, shit, you want 10,000? No problem. So he's receiving the money that he tried to get in the black community and that type of stuff.
And he did.
So, but I mean, there's a circuit out there. And there's a circuit out, and I should have brought the book to show you all these people. They had like 100 white people on this, and Delbert Blair and the brother Dr. Andow was the only two. But there's this main circuit out here, and it's big money. You see what I'm saying? But the main key is that they're looking for a Messiah. You see, they're looking for a Messiah. And they're looking for a male. The reason they're looking for a male, but you got to realize, see, you got to realize about the male and the female thing. And I said this in New York. I think we put a little more too much credence on what the Messiah is. It's still a lesser level, so the male can occupy that.
Oh, okay.
The female is on something a little more.
Peace to you too.
Her current and the energy is used for something else. It's like the Neptune thing. The unmanifest, the unseen real. You understand what I'm saying? So the energy is different. Because we see the manifest, sometimes we think that is more superior. Not necessarily so. So you got to understand the male and female duality principle. You understand what I'm saying? And it's about like a organization that's functioning together. And it doesn't have anything that we're not talking about in this whole thing. This inferiority thing, they got us thinking that one thing is better than the other. So.
Hey, Dola. Yeah. Y'all want to watch him? Great knowledge. I always get knowledge. It's never ending. We'll go ahead and start the reading. See what the cards want to say. Gemini. I'm put 9 cards down. I'm going to do past, present, and future. Gemini. Hey, Gemini. Happy birthday, Virgos, again. 2 cards on 1. We got Hangman reverse, Gemini. That's past. We got Page of Wands reverse. That's present. Star card want to come out. Go ahead and put it out. That's future. It's you want a question, it's $5. You want a reading, it's $45. We're going back to past again. Could be past life we talking about. I'm gonna put them all together. Past, present, future. 3 of Wands, reverse. Hey, kid, dog. Past. 4 of Wands. High movie. Present. The Hermit. I'm gonna be writing down too, y'all. King of Swords, reverse. Okay, the first one is the Hangman. Gemini. 999 portal. It was on the 9th. It's going to be on the 18th and the 27th. Yeah, but it's loud. Silent but loud. Hangman. Now, I always say stand up on your own 2 feet. Okay. And this is something you're not doing. Because he looked like his head's in a cloud. Gemini being the air sign. Could be getting out of a situation. Or staying in it. Because this way is being sacrificed. It says in ideal and enlightened, okay? Also. But you have no idea or enlightened about some situation. Okay? Something you missing. This is also my different culture. When it's this way, to me, it's a different culture. The dance they do. Or someone could have a handicap as well. And that could be maybe not physical outside, could be physical inside, okay? Something mental. Something you missing. Okay, that was past. Now we got present, Page of Wands reverse. Now this is future and traveling. Okay, upright. It says no future, no travel. Okay, so that's also a villain. So something you're being corrupt about. Hi, Russian. Something you're being corrupt about. And you really have no idea maybe what you got into. Here, Jermaine, Harris. Okay, cut it out, Harris. You may not know what you got into. You may think you do, or because we got the star right here. This could be a star child. This could be a child. I could be talking about you, or how to access being this star. Okay, this is present. This is future. My fault. This is maybe something. Maybe you're looking for a star child. Maybe you have a star child. Maybe you're gonna be a star child. Maybe you're gonna get it together in the future. Because right now, you're a villain. You're doing different things that maybe for money. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? You may be doing things just to get by, or maybe you're looking for fame and fortune. That's a star too. You may be looking for fame and fortune. Could be you, a child. This is a star child. Aquarius. And that is a humanitarian, turning your life around in the future. So whatever you may be doing now, and also, you being a villain, you know that if you really know or perfecting or trying to perfect a villain. So say for instance, if you start working for the police, okay, that's also a badge. You know all about the darker side. Well, not the darker side, villain. You know, being crooked. Okay. So you would have an advantage because you know how they move and how they think, right? I'm gonna say a sheriff helping them. Or this could be actual sheriff. So humanitarian. They can be cold. They can be aloof. You know, this is an air sign as well. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Air signs. So, like I say, this could be about you in the future. This could be about a child in the future. What you're perfecting, turning a new leaf, turning your life around. Okay. Or this could be not traveling to a child. You know what I'm saying? Or either you don't understand your child. Okay. So you either you're a special person. You probably got caught up. Remember I told y'all to watch Bless the Child movie? It shows how the evilness wants to corrupt a child while they're young because they know when we're born and what we want to do. So if it's to change the world, so in order for us not to do that, they try to corrupt you as a child. And then they use the child to come against other children to corrupt them. Okay? Okay, the next one going back to the past. So, one carnation, you could have changed your life around. We got the Four of Cups. Turn my page up. And it's the past, bored, missed opportunity. Um, frustrated with money. It's not enough. Whatever you got now, you strive for more. You want more money. You're not satisfied with what you have. Feelings. Also, your feelings, how you feel about the situation. It says don't appreciate nothing. So it could go back to that star child. You don't appreciate your child. Okay? Oh, couldn't sleep. Okay. You may be drinking. Okay. So let's see. Let's go back to this too. This is a spiritual child. The star. Shine, heal. You need to heal. You need to do some healing. So whatever you've been through, or heal a child. Okay, because you're not appreciating that child, and that child is feeling neglected, or this is the way you feel. Okay. Pure. They need help, or you need help. Okay. With resources. Okay, that could be going into why, if it was past life, you never had enough. You know, say you came from poverty or whatever the deal may be. This now you willing to get it any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? It's a certain image that you want. Okay, now we're going to the present of the next row, Five of Wands reverse. Be careful of them images, okay? And them trends. It says a way out. So you're finding a way out of this situation, of your situation of money. Sweetheart, I had more jobs. I've been working since 13. Okay. Need to solve without arguing and fussing. Think about what you're doing. Okay. You may not be talking about what you're doing. Talk rational. If it's to a child, very sensitive, but they're not gonna let you know they're sensitive. You know, they might close up. Say you promised the child something, and you didn't give it to them, and you didn't give it to them. Okay. So the child not saying anything to you. Sweetheart, you don't have to stay here if you don't want to hear the message, okay? You can always leave. There's no problem, Hammer. There's no problem. It says, yeah, so that's basically it. And then we got the Three of Wands reversed. So basically, all these reversals, something's going to backfire on you, okay? Why have a child and don't take care of it? Why have a child and lie to them? You know, if that happened to you when you were younger, you want to make sure, I would think, that you don't do that to your child, okay? So it also means that you may not respect the mother either. So if you got someone pregnant that you really didn't like, you know, I know back in the day, my kid's father, we met at 16, and everybody was getting pregnant at 16. And he was so trying for me and him to have a baby. It was like, no, shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get pregnant. I didn't get pregnant till 24. It's like following the crowd, the trend. You see what I'm saying? And then when reality hit, it's like, damn, I didn't know it was going to be like this. Costing me a lot of money. Especially sometimes if you ain't grown up yourself. You know what I'm saying? Stagnation, no progress. Ships not coming in. Life not turning out like you thought. Um, Everything out in the closet, out in the open. So if you were trying to hide something, because a child knows their mom and dad. A son knows his dad. A daughter knows her mom. You know what I'm saying? Um, if you're trying to hide something from that child feels it. They know who you are inside. You can't hide it from them. All your skeletons are out of the closet. Okay. You could be hiding secrets from the child, but the child already know. Okay. They're not gonna say nothing because they don't want no arguing and fighting and all of that. So you got a respectable child, a star child. Oh, this was you when you were young. Could be your situation. Um, Delays, you know, making you wait, or you making somebody wait, and they're losing the respect for you. Yeah. Hey, Hugh. So they're losing respect for you, not going to goals. So I don't know if you want this child to, or wish this child to be more like you, and they're not. Especially being Aquarius. Aquarius just like a Gemini, just like a Libra. Got their own mind. Not easily persuaded. Okay. Um, Very similar. You know, they might, if being naive, if they love, they'll listen, follow you. And then if they see that you keep disappointing them over and over and over again, you can forget it. You can forget it. They're not going to keep depending on you. And that's going to be a downfall for you. Okay. We got the Four of Wands next, upright. And it is stable, freedom, celebrate, completion, pleasure, motel, hotel, mall, see, happy home, mansion, country. See, your mind so much on material things and maybe doing different money magic or something like that to get what you want, and maybe messing around, you know. Damn, sorry to hear that, Hugh. You know, you motel, hotel, Holiday Inn. If your girl start acting up, then you take her friend. So you may be messing around with his mom's friend. Maybe even had him in the home, or you may be at that person's home. Or you could be messing with Aquarius, Virgo here, the Hermit has passed. Virgo or a Aquarius. And also, you still want the big mansion. You still want to be rich. You still want to be a star. It's for one question is $5. For a reading is $45. Hugh. So you still want the celebrity life. You know, you want to live, you know, high above your knees. I mean, you know, you're doing things. You know what I'm saying? I don't have Vimeo. I never did figure out how to do that. I'm members only. You can join my members only, and I'll do it there. Let me know, and I'll go and do it for you there. Matter of fact, I'll do it free there. So you getting pleasure. It's all about your pleasure. You're not thinking about that. You want what you want. You're willing to do anything for it. Okay, it's cool. Thank you. You want the freedom of being free. A challenge. It says home, mansion, country. So this is still in your head. You could be a star, could be a celebrity. You could have this stuff, but you know, most of the time, celebrities, 99.99%, is doing whatever to get the fame. Now that hangman, they could have you on assignment to find a star child. So you can have this. You want to sacrifice somebody. Or maybe they're telling you to sacrifice your child for the fame. Okay, so far you refuse that. But it's a thought in your mind. hermit mode, isolating a ghost. And it is also, you need to go soul search. You know what I'm saying? You need to find yourself, because you're going down the wrong road. And that may be what you're doing, hopefully. But it also about night and the idea. And you could be looking at things. You could be thinking about what they offered you. This could be an offer. King of Swords reversed, the next card, lies. This could be a father also. Could be about you and your father. It's mine. You go into my to my page and you'll see to join members only. Okay, you'll see a lot of videos I have on there, and you pick the price. I think it starts at $2.99 on up. Hey, Hector. Okay. I don't know if you belong to a secret society, sorority, alpha, whatever them things called. Or ancestor. Ancestor may be visiting you about this situation. Oh, it's fine. You good. Hey, Hector. Could have went to the same college as an ancestor. I mean, as your, dad did, grandpa did, whatever. Also, it's saying loneliness. So going back to the child. You could be thinking about moving in a motel, a hotel, because everything out of the closet as well. Took all your clothes. See, I don't know if this is something you did before you left the home with a child, and the child still feels some type of way about that. Or like I said, it could have been you and your dad. Dad might have left your mom or whatever the deal is, okay? You're thinking about some stuff. Really, what happened? You're going to your inner child. Really thinking about some stuff, how lied to a lot. And are you doing that to your child now? Got the King of Swords reversed. Or yourself. Lying to yourself. Maybe you feel you can handle this, what you're doing. Maybe you think you can handle this secret society, or, you know. Maybe you feel you have no choice. Maybe they got you by the balls. So it's something about you, the inner child in yourself, or a child, about sacrificing a child. So a secret meeting also, that 5 of Wands reverse, and if it's, and under it is the Hermit. It's like they say, solve the issue, something they want you to do. So you lying about, you lying to people. You got an offer. You trying to ignore it, but you want this mansion. You want this stardom. You want to be seen. Like I say, you may already be in that. Maybe they want you to sacrifice a child of yours. Or also I was thinking about Kanye's daughter. They was talking about how the daughter was looking older than what she really is. I don't know if you're concerned about the men looking at your child, or they all want to go to bed with your child, or in Hollywood, either the dad or mom or a whole bunch of them do go to bed with their children, and they allow these Diddy parties and all of that stuff. Maybe she's looking younger. Maybe that's what happened. I also got the gay women, gay men. So I don't know if that happened to her. While she's, like I say, while his daughter's looking older than she was before, and that was quick. Not so long ago, she wasn't looking like that. Or she's cloned. I don't know now. This could be a cloning. Because the Hermit Virgo is also got to do with medical, okay, operations, secret society. They could have cloned her. That might not even be the little girl anymore. I don't know. We got cloning going on here. But something they offering you, you've been refusing it. Or you could be changing yourself. I don't know. Or you're getting older. And maybe don't, because Gemini likes new, well, not all Geminis, but all Geminis I met like younger. And they don't like being called old. A lot of older men shave their head off so you can see their gray hair. Keep shaved so the gray hairs won't grow, stuff like that. So I don't know if that's an issue for you too. Scared of getting old. So you maybe date younger women, something like that. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, let's see what my cards say, Jimmy Jam. Shoot. Okay. Yeah, so. All right, let's see. What I was talking about. Incubus, succubus. You have a sex addiction? Are they messing with you? Or messing with your child? They'll send that too, sis. Something about sex. Some, yeah. I'm gonna come up right. Say truth. Son or daughter, Will Smith went to bed with his son. to make sure the industry don't make him sacrifice his son, but he actually did with Diddy Party, right? So he went to bed with his own son. And I'm pretty sure the mother went to bed with her daughter because they couldn't have that status without doing something like that, because them people the behind the scenes people are nasty as fuck. Incubus, succubus. They don't want nothing and don't want you to have nothing or be nothing. After they get through with you, you won't be nothing. Now this could be a child. Like I say, you want the child to be like you, and maybe the child want a future for themselves. And this could be you. And I'm just saying. And like I say, you don't like that your child don't like to do crooked shit. Says Gentiles. Your niece is jealous of your daughter. Okay. It says kill him or her father. Reverse. Something you're refusing to do. Okay. They want you to do. Your gay friend. I don't know who you're talking to, but something going down. A friend wants your child or something. Like I said, if you're in Hollywood, they want to turn them out. Or they already, I don't know. He, she, they are a spy. It's reversed. Yeah. They kill or kill 3 at a time to get what you want. So you got to sacrifice 3 people. Or you could be trying to kill an earth angel, which is a star child, to get fame and fortune. Might not necessarily be your child, but it has to be family members or somebody family members. Vapors, humidifier, breathe air clean. So I don't know if that's, vapors they smoke, but it's also like stopping choking them or something. Stop the air. Jungle warfare, Rambo, against the corrupt system, Robin Hood. Now that's Aquarius to me. This could, like I said, this could be you. You don't like the way they're doing stuff, so you finna turn Rambo on them. Maybe they're coming against your child. Or this could be the Rambo against this choking somebody out. I don't know. It says against the corrupt system. You could be, refusing and want to change things, too. So take it how you take it. Hey, Jess, you have to pay $5 for a question and $45 for a reading. It says celebrate, reverse. So this hasn't happened, and you maybe not want to do it, or it hasn't been done, or I don't know. We are different. I'm trying to save the world. You want to destroy it. Yeah. Well, this world, this Capricorn age has got to die. And they fighting tooth and nail. They trying to corrupt as many people as they possibly can and get you to the Gentiles, as you say, the Gentiles, and trying to get you to corrupt your children as well. So when everything hit the fan, y'all gonna be right wherever they gonna be, stalking your kids, system, or family. Ooh, your family trying to do this. I don't have a family, so I'm not worried. Okay, somebody don't have. Okay, but this may not be you then. This for somebody who has kids, and they know you may have signed a contract. You may have you know, I don't know, to do this, to have this fame and fortune. It says, I'm not fucking you, reverse. C, an herbalist, a midwife. So this could be a baby. Highly favored. The original witches were not called that. They were alchemists, chemists, biologists, scientists, and more. Jealousy, discredit. So somebody might be, like I say, that's that star child. So this could be an older person. Somebody's saying they're a witch or something. They might be saying that about you. Family member trying to get rid of you or something like that, sacrifice you. Coming out of the sea. Now that could be a water sign, or could be ancestors, the Orishas, Obatala, and all of them, and Shango, and Mami Wata and them. Fake shootings, scan somebody, pistol, or threats. Families, love, reverse. Your family may not get along. Please don't test me, reverse. But they are. See, when you come to them people, you came to them. Now, some of them be trying to ask me through the cards to join that crap. That's a no for me. I ain't eating now, baby. I ain't sacrificing now, baby. I ain't doing none of that shit. They can forget that. Bridge crumbling or your life, plane, etc. Car, be careful. Death following you, sent. So they could be trying to get rid of you. If you disagree and you know this, there's something wrong with your car, they might have did it, or they might be trying to cause an accident, or that's your assignment, I don't know. Or family, or whatever. It says Leo. Unconditional love, reverse. Leo was reversed too, though. So I don't know if this past, maybe did it already, or somebody got rid of a Leo already, or that's in the works. You are loved, protected, safe by the creators, ancestors, archangels, cherubims, guides, etc. So don't worry, Leo. Gemini. If this you, they want to do this too, you protected. Or that person is protected, whatever the deal is. Now that Leo is protected. Hiding in the bushes and trees, reverse. An aunt. The door came. Let me tell you something. I got people trying to kill me right now. I was homeless for a while, running for my life. Still is, really. Family members. So, yeah. After my daughter, they got rid of, deceased, killed my daughter in February. Through voodoo, witchcraft. So, yeah. This happens all the time. What you think? If you've not been paying attention to Hollywood and all of that, they use us. Matter of fact, I was trying to look for Erykah Badu. She made a comment. Yeah, she made a comment that she said that what did she say? 85% of the people are followers and sleep. She said 10%, 85, 90, 95, 10% is Hollywood, them. They want to be seen. They want to be your gods in a way. They want to be able to use you any way they possibly can. And the 5%, which is us, the 144,000, are the ones that see and could see everything. She said that. They could see everything that they doing and everybody doing and trying